As former Governor Brownback resigns to take a new ambassador position, see what new Governor Jeff Collier has planned for Kansas in 2018.
Local business owners face issues of legalities after state issues opinion on the legal status of CBD oils, leaving some customers concerned about paying treatments.
And basketball icon and civil rights activist Kareem Abdul-Jabbar stopped in on campus to discuss equality and social issues with faculty and students.
Coming up in weather, I'll tell you if you can expect more of this snow or if you'll see it melt away. That and your 5-day forecast coming up.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. I am DJ Render.
And I'm Colby Miller. Last Wednesday, the Capitol building in Topeka was a packed house as Brownback resigning led to a new governor being sworn in for the state of Kansas. Channel 8's Dylan Lears has the story.
Just after 3 o'clock last Wednesday, crowds gathered to watch former Lieutenant Governor and Hays native Jeff Collier be sworn in as the 47th governor of the state of Kansas.
As a humble Kansan, I know how to listen. I love to serve, and I'm ready to lead.
Collier is filling in the spot that former two-term Governor Sam Brownback left.
And now from all of us, to Mary and Sam, Ambassador Sam Brownback. I pledge to do the right thing, even when nobody is looking. And we will set a tone and insist on an environment of openness, honesty, and respect, and without harassment, especially in this building.
One of the larger issues on the board for discussion within the legislature is the current debate over school funding.
When others blame and complain, I'll be busy working for you, trying to find solutions. I will not be responsible for shutting down Kansas government or our schools. This is not Washington.
A change in governorship may bring about expected changes, but many lawmakers think things will stay just about the same.
He was been in a tough spot. He doesn't want to undermine an existing governor that he was close friends with. And Sam wanted to capitulate to the court with money we don't have. So hopefully he will help us with the resources to create an environment to where we can take care of K through 12 without compromising everything else or constantly raising taxes every 2 years.
I think he's still in the listening stage as well as he goes across the state. But we look forward to getting down and listen to his ideas and see the direction he wants to lead us in. Our job is to balance our books every year. The last budget was presented earlier in the year, didn't balance. We're going to look long term and look for comprehensive solutions, and one that we don't come here every session with another math problem. We want to solve it this session and look long term.
Collier has already passed his first piece of legislation requiring sexual harassment training for those working in the executive branch. In Topeka, Dylan Lears, Channel 8 News.
Governor Collier made his first major address to the legislature yesterday, where he outlined his plan to impose new open government policies for the state. Collier has until January of next year before the next governor of Kansas is sworn in, a race in which he is running for.
Recent publicity surrounding the legalities of hemp in Kansas could lead to legal trouble for businesses that offer products like CBD oil. Channel 8 reporter Joshua Yankovic has the story.
Keith Ryan is a local veteran that struggled with pain left from his time in the service. When doctors told Ryan that he needed heavy prescription meds for relief, he found consolation by using cannabidiol, commonly known as CBD.
I have back pain from being blown up in Afghanistan, and it pretty much eliminates 95 to 100% of my pain. They wanted to prescribe me Percocet for the pain, and I refused to take opioids. I think this actually worked better than the opioids would have.
However, Kansas Attorney General Derek Schmidt made his opinion public last week, stating that CBD should be considered unlawful to possess in the state. In a letter addressed to Kansas district attorneys in Shawnee and Johnson County, dated January 24th, the Attorney General said that the 2017 legislature, which legalized cannabidiol at the federal level, did not apply in Kansas. Donald Ince, co-owner of CBD American Shaman, is worried that this will affect his clients' ability to use their product.
I got people calling me and wanting to know if what I've sold them, if they're in possession of something illegal. And he told me, yeah, they're not. It's not illegal for them to possess it, and I can tell people that.
Ince called the Riley County Police Department to find out if what he's selling is still legal. He was told that it's a federal issue. Candace Scott, a local resident who grew up in Kansas, is hopeful that legislators will allow CBD use because it is not the same as what is found in marijuana.
I like to think that we will eventually move in a different direction than how we're going now. But for the time being, I'm sure there's just a lot of people that are in the legislature that just aren't educated about CBD and why it is different than THC.
The state attorney general told district attorneys that CBD was not approved by Food and Drug Administration, and since CBD oil could be extracted from cannabis plants, it fell under the general definition for marijuana. In Manhattan, I'm Joshua Yankovic, Channel 8 News.
Some stores that sell CBD have closed their doors as precaution, but despite the controversy, other businesses across Kansas remain open.
Manhattan might be known as the Little Apple, but it can now also be called one of the best places to live in the U.S. Channel 8's Margot Coltrane has more.
Lindsay Hageman has lived in the city of Manhattan, Kansas her whole life, but it's the small town feel with big town hype that has kept her around to continue her school career at Kansas State University.
I see a different side of Manhattan, but it's definitely still nice to be able to kind of be familiar with my surroundings, be the one who can give directions, know where the great places to eat are, and still be able to kind of connect with my family whenever I need to.
Livability.com, a community research website, recently placed Manhattan at number 2 on its list of top 100 best places to live for 2018, citing Manhattan's educational resources and cultural venues as just a few of the reasons for its high slot. Whether you're shopping downtown, cheering on the Cats, or enjoying one of the many outdoor amenities, the city of Manhattan has lots to offer for people of all interests. City planners like John Adam get a behind-the-scenes look at what sets Manhattan apart.
What's unique about Manhattan is it's not just a college town, it's also a military town. And when NBAF comes online, it's going to be a stronger piece of that agribusiness corridor that stretches from here to Columbia. So you could say this about any city, but every place is unique, every town's unique. Manhattan just has a lot of new things going on. And
it was kind of a really great place to grow up. It had everything you could possibly want, that small town setting, but those big opportunities.
In Manhattan, I'm Margot Coltrane, Channel 8 News.
The top 5 best places to live, according to the survey, are Ann Arbor, Michigan as number 1, followed by Manhattan, Kansas, Corvallis, Oregon, Iowa City, Iowa, and in 5th, Charlottesville, Virginia.
Coming up, we will take a look at how local florists prepare for Valentine's Day. But first, we will talk to the CEO of KSU Foundation. Stay tuned.
I know a spot that I love full well.
'Tis not in forest, nor yet in dell. Ever it holds me with magic spell.
Think of thee, alma mater.
We'll carry thy banner high. Long, long, may thy colors fly.
Loyal to thee, thy children will swell the cry. Hail, 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 alma mater.
Research. It's applying the bigger picture toward the greater good. Defending the world from adversaries, both seen and unseen. Interpreting realities to unlock solutions. It's our land-grant mission to serve our world utilizing sharp minds, from first-year students to world-renowned experts. What makes research so strong at Kansas State University? Vision. Progress. You.
Last Tuesday, the Black Student Union brought NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the Little Apple to speak to students and faculty about equality and social issues.
Despite the cold weather, fans, students, faculty, and Manhattan residents lined up to watch and listen to the legendary NBA star and civil rights activist Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Some students came with the hopes of leaving with a different viewpoint.
Just like a different perspective and a different outlook on life that someone else, not other than me, has.
Others have fond memories of Jabbar in his prime.
Well, he was one of the most dominating forces ever in basketball. It was like poetry in motion.
More than 2,000 people came and asked him questions about social injustice, racial issues, and just advice for college in general. Jabbar speaks about his prior experiences in school. He then gives students advice about developing patience and diligence while in college.
Go through college, things become clear to you, what motivates you, what your passions are, and you figure it out. So just be patient. It'll happen at the right time. And plus, if your parents can't afford to send you to college for 6 years. So do the right thing.
BSU Special Programs Director explained why they chose Jabbar to come speak to the Manhattan community.
And so we looked at all the things that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has been doing, and we just really were in love with that. So we just wanted to bring him here and connect him with the community so that everybody can hear what he had, the wisdom he had to say.
BSU awarded Jabbar with the Stacey Paul Humanitarian Award for his hard work and dedication for fighting for social justice. In Manhattan, I'm Tiffany Horn, Channel 8 News.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has a series of books out that speak about social issues and his life in the NBA. He continues to reach out to people about racial equality through his motivational speeches presented around the world and in his books.
In the fall semester of 2018, students returning to K-State may see a slight change in scenery in some of the halls on campus. Channel 8 News reporter Chase Swenson has more.
Over this next summer, K-State will be performing various renovations to general education halls across campus. While there was a survey sent out about the renovations, some students, like Chris Turnus, are skeptical on how much input the survey will have on important renovation decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of one of those things where they're going to get the student input, but they're also just kind of going to do their own thing anyway, so.
Jack Ayers stressed how important it was to get student input and to use that input for the decision-making process.
I think it'll play a huge role because a couple reasons. One, I mean, students are the ones that are affected by the the classroom, the condition of the classroom. The other thing is students are the one paying tuition, which is, I think, a good reason why they should have a say. But then, most importantly, I think students are paying the fee, to provide the money for this.
As you can see here in Eisenhower, they are using much more primitive methods of temperature control, from the window units to the radiator heaters. However, in new halls, such as the business building, they're using much more state-of-the-art technology to regulate the temperatures in their classrooms. It is this comfortable learning environment they're hoping to bring to the older classrooms with these renovations.
One of the big problems that has been brought to mind due to feedback from the student body are heating and air issues that are occurring in some of the campus's older buildings. Reed Adams, a student at K-State, noticed these issues.
I have a class, I just had it today actually, speech in Willard, and it's a lot of times it's a little too hot, but it's hard to please everybody.
The renovations are scheduled to be done during the upcoming summer. Look forward to renovations next year at K-State. In Manhattan, Kansas, Chase Swinson, Channel 8 News.
The funds for these renovations come from each student, costing them roughly $4 per credit hour. The total budget for the renovations is around $1.9 million. As the K-State buildings are being renovated, K-State is building on the momentum and success of innovation and inspiration. Channel 8 News reporter Brandon Fayback is joining us in studio with CEO of K-State Foundations, Greg Willems, to discuss endowments with the KSU Foundation. Brandon?
Thank you, Colby. Joining us in studio today is President and CEO of the Kansas State University Foundation, Greg Willems, to speak on endowments at K-State. Mr. Willems, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
So what are endowments and how does K-State use them?
Sure. So endowments are an important part of what we do to advance K-State. Certainly, we're constantly raising funds from alumni, corporations, and other enterprises. Some of those are current cash gifts that go to work right away in the institution, and endowments are basically a fund established where we're going to continue to invest that money and really basically allow the institution to spend the earnings. And so we want a permanent fund that we can constantly count on to produce a revenue stream for K-State.
And which way are those going, up or down?
So endowments right now are doing very well. Obviously, we've had a very positive market environment the last year. So investment returns, nationally have been very, very good for foundations, including K-State.
So you would say that with recent boost in stock market, it boosts endowments as well?
Sure. Long term is really the way we've built the endowment. We want this to last in perpetuity, and so we have a long-term philosophy on the investment management. But the markets last year were very, very kind to endowments, and so we benefited from that greatly.
Is there any raw data for these endowments?
So at K-State, we've got a little over $535 million in endowment. To put that in context, K-State Foundation has raised a little over $2 billion lifetime since our existence in 1947, and so roughly a quarter of that in endowment is a pretty solid showing for K-State.
And is there a particular industry that these are coming from?
So most endowment gifts come from individuals. So alumni, certainly citizens of influence and affluence in the community who care about the university is where the large share of endowments come from. Companies, foundations typically more invest in current gifts, outright gifts that are going to be spent in the current year.
Well, thank you, Mr. Williams, for joining us today. Colby?
Kansas State basketball player Ahmad Wainwright has made headlines after police say his car was involved in a shooting in Overland Park on January 17th. According to KCTV5, the shooting occurred along Interstate 435 between State Line and Roe. 2 people were in the car with a bullet being fired out of the open passenger side door, hitting the back door on the other car. The incident report shows the shot came from Ahmad Wainwright's car. No one was hurt in the shooting. There have been no arrests in the case so far. However, the police say they are still investigating the case. Kansas State's athletic department issued a statement on Monday concerning the issue. We are aware of the situation involving Ahmad Wainwright. Ahmad fully cooperated with authorities and was not charged to our knowledge. This matter is resolved. At this time, the investigation by Overland Park Police is still ongoing.
Later in the show, we will find out which K-State student athlete set a school record. But first, will you need a coat this weekend, or will the weather finally warm up for us?
Also, how do florists get through the big February holiday? Find out in just 90 seconds.
Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Cats and Sooners tied at 5, and the Cats trying to win a Big 12 title for the first time ever. Outside, it gets away to the plate. Kansas State has its title.
Ships it in the middle, a header into the goal, and a score for K-State.
The best-kept secret in Manhattan is not a secret anymore. I'm Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Wildcats, and welcome to JP's Sports Grill. With daily chef-inspired specials, a full bar, and a diverse menu that has something for everyone, this place is guaranteed to impress. JP Sports Grill, your new favorite spot.
I was so pleased with what I saw on the discussion boards last night. Who started the module?
K-State Global Campus offers flexible online learning, the same name brand education, quality programs, and recognized award-winning professors with the flexibility to fit your life.
We'll be working on Project 3 this week. It's a group project.
For your comfort and safety, vital baggage must be stored in the overhead.
K-State Global Campus. Always on, always there.
Valentine's Day roots, including where and when the holiday was established, are a mystery to this day.
One thing that's not a mystery is where to buy your flowers for this occasion. Emma Carter has more on what floral shops endure leading up to Valentine's Day.
Jan Miller. I am the owner of Stace Floral. We do specialize in our fresh flowers, but we also sell a lot of gourmet chocolate.
As you would imagine, she is quite busy this time of year. So how does she manage to navigate through the Valentine's Day bustle?
We offer a service, and we're here to provide that service that day. So it is over the top busy, but it's wonderful. It's something to look forward to. We plan it, and we're tired at the end, but we're happy.
Valentine's Day is the #1 holiday for florists, making up for 36% of all fresh flower purchases. According to the National Retail Federation, Americans spent $18.6 billion last year for Valentine's Day, including $2 billion on flowers alone.
It's not only their commitment to stunning floral arrangements, but also their commitment to their employees and customers that keep people coming back.
My favorite part about working here is just the environment itself. It's such a family kind of unit.
It is not just the flowers that people come to Steve's Flora for. It is a relationship. Each member of staff strives to make a unique connection within the community.
Our staff our designs, our customer service is just top notch. And our dedication to our customers is where it's all about.
In Manhattan, I'm Emma Carter, Channel 8 News.
After Valentine's Day, Florists will experience a brief reprieve before heading into their next biggest holiday, Mother's Day.
Let's talk weather. Recently, we have had frigid temperatures with snow covering the ground.
Yeah, Colby, I've been bundled up this past week.
We will send it over to our weather anchor, Mason, to see if temperatures will be warming up. Mason?
Thanks, Colby. Yeah, we will get into local weather, but first we're going to take a look at what's going on with the national averages. If you look up northwest towards Seattle, Seattle's in the mid-50s, and they've got cloud cover. If you go a little south, mid-50s for Los Angeles. And as we head east, first we'll make a stop in Austin. That's where the Cats made a stop last night. Up in Chicago, low teens. And then out in Atlanta, mid-30s. We head up to New York. We got 27 degrees and a little bit of sun peeking through in New York City. Now for your Kansas map. On the east side of Kansas, in Johnson County area, about mid-20s in the southeast part of the state, 22 degrees. And as we head towards Riley County, we'll be at around 20 degrees. And as we go west, down in Gray County, 29 degrees and 35 degrees as we head further west towards the state line. Now for tomorrow's agenda. At sunrise, 7:24 a.m. is when the sun will come out. Be mostly cloudy and 16 degrees, but a big time warm up, sunny and 41 at lunchtime. And as the sun sets, be 45 degrees. Now look for the Olympic outlook. Right now, the Olympics going on in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Luge was the first event of the day. Partly cloudy at 8:30 a.m., 23 degrees. This is all local time for South Korea. Skiing will be going on at noon, mostly cloudy and 33, and then mostly cloudy and 29 at sunset in the Olympic Village. Now, we'll take a look at your 5-day forecast. Today, pretty warm, 51 degrees, 23 for the low. Clouds start to come around, 27 degrees, and a low of 11 on Friday. And then Saturday, we're going to get snow again. So the snow won't go away until we warm up on Sunday and Monday. 32 degrees and 42 degrees for the highs. Lows will be around the mid to upper teens. But Saturday, the one to look out for. Now some winter safety tips for you, because with the snow coming, roads will be icy and you'll be cold. So hats, gloves, and blankets, these are all things you need to keep in your car to keep you safe in case something were to happen. And a half tank of gas, that's to make sure you don't slip and slide as much on the ice, so keep a half tank of gas always. And don't turn the heat off in your house. Some people, they think they're saving money by turning off the heat in their house, and their pipes freeze, so you don't want that. But we'll send it back to DJ and Colby.
Thank you, Mason. Coming up, a record was set in Ahern this past weekend. We'll find out by who after the break.
Schultz one, high and deep to left, goodbye.
Shot to right. K-State's going to try and score two. Another play at the play, but this time Brevin slides past the tag. And Brad Hill is the all-time winningest coach in K-State history.
We are a family that does not tolerate discrimination of any kind.
A family that believes diversity, inclusion, and sportsmanship are expectations.
A family that is supportive and seeks to promote a positive environment.
A family that treats all people with respect and dignity.
No matter their color, creed, gender, ethnicity, or sexual orientation.
We are an empowered family.
Who empowers family.
Welcome to K-State.
This is who we are.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Let's send it over to our sports reporter, Adam Cook, for our weekly sports update.
Thanks, DJ and Colby. Kansas State track and field was in action last weekend at Ahern Fieldhouse as they hosted the DeLoss Dodds Invitational. The Wildcats had a successful meet, including senior Mitch Dixon setting a new school record with a throw of 21.68 meters in the men's weight throw event. With this throw, Dixon secured his 6th weight throw victory of the year. Sophomore Lauren Talbert was also part of the Wildcats' success, winning in the women's pentathlon while also setting a new personal best in high jump, 60-meter hurdles, and her overall pentathlon score. Kansas State Track and Field will return to action this weekend in Lubbock, Texas at the Texas Tech Shootout. The Kansas State women's basketball team was in action at Bramlage Coliseum on Wednesday night as they faced off against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. The Wildcats shot 46% from the field with junior guard Kayla Goth leading the way with 27 points on 19 shots. Goth didn't stop there, though. She also had the team-high 9 assists to go along with 6 rebounds. Rachel Ranke also had a big night, ending with 20 points and hitting 4 three-pointers. Kansas State would eventually wear down the Red Raiders and go on to win 83-69, moving the Wildcats to a 13-11 record and a 5-8 record in the Big 12. The Wildcats will be back in action this Saturday, taking on the Texas Longhorns in Austin, Texas. The Kansas State men were also in action Wednesday night in Austin, Texas, as they took on the Texas Longhorns. The Wildcats were led by junior Dean Wade, who had 16 points on 12 shots. Redshirt freshman Cartier Jada also scored 13 points as the Wildcats took down the Longhorns 67-64. Kansas State will return to action this Saturday at 7 p.m., taking on the 7th-ranked Texas Tech Raiders in Bramlage Coliseum. That's all the time we have for sports this week. Thank you for tuning in. Now back to Colby and DJ at the desk.
Thanks, Adam. For those of you heading to the K-State basketball game this weekend, bundle up. Mason will have another look at your weather 5-day forecast.
When I hear the phrase giving back,
it means opportunity for me to do something for others.
Volunteering exposes you to different ways of life and different people around the world.
They teach you just as much as you teach them.
It allows you to understand the social issues that we face. The only people who can resolve those social issues is us, and that's starting with our community.
I think for me it means just really embodying what it means to be a part of that K-State family.
K-State athletics team with Courts for Kids, and we went to Costa Rica, a town called Liana Veja.
We went to Dallas to volunteer at Aid Services of Dallas.
I believe everybody should have education, and that's why I volunteer at a high school.
It's a family atmosphere, and we're here to take care of each other, and I think that K-State Proud and other things that students do really embody that family atmosphere that we've been taught since we got here.
What motivates Wildcats to give back?
Empathy.
Kindness.
You.
Before we part ways with you this morning, weather expert Mason, why don't you give us one last look at our 5-day forecast?
Yeah, so we took a look at it. Quite a bit of sun out there today, actually, but what snow does melt, we're going to see more of it coming in on Saturday. So Saturday, temperatures are going to drop again, and we're going to get a little bit more snow in the forecast. Low of 10 degrees Saturday, but hopefully the snow doesn't affect you from getting out to Bramlage to support the Cats. And as we look ahead to Sunday, we'll be at freezing and then above it when we get to Monday. Sunny, a little bit of cloud cover, but we should start to see the sun come out and the snow go away. Other stuff going on this weekend, the polar plunge is Saturday, so if you're concerned about the weather for that, it will be an actual polar plunge.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to our first show of 2018. We look forward to seeing you at 10 a.m. next Thursday right here on Channel 8 News.
This is Channel 8 News.